Picture this. You're unpacking a box in a new apartment or staring at a blank calendar after a big change. And then that voice says, "You always mess this up," or "Who do you think you are?" It can make a room feel suddenly very small.
So small.
And sometimes it convinces you to stop before you begin. Today, I want to teach a short 3-minute way to notice that voice so it doesn't run the show. Welcome to the Self-Care Cafe podcast. I'm your hostess, Pami Parker. I love this little pause we make here. It's my favorite part of the week. Oh, yes. Today, a tiny practice for when that critical voice shows up. Real short, 3 minutes or even 1 breath. I'm so glad to be joined by 2 people I admire. Nisha Kapoor, who teaches mindfulness for people in big life shifts, and Dr. Elise Morgan, a psychologist who makes therapy tools practical. Hi, both.
Hi, Pami. So glad to be here.
Thanks. Ready to argue for curiosity if needed.
Oh, we'll see. Let's start simple. When you hear inner critic, what do you actually mean?
For me, it's a learned pattern, a voice made up of old instructions. It often shows up to protect us, saying things like don't risk or avoid shame. That protective tone gets louder in uncertainty. And clinically, I see that it's often rooted in early messages and cultural pressure. What helped keep people safe once can end up narrowing options now. That image of protection turning tight is so useful. Do you have a quick example of when this shows up in real life? Yes. Once I worked with a woman finishing grad school who sat in her cap, staring at her diploma, and heard a steady loop, "You don't belong here." She almost skipped her own ceremony. We used short witnessing right there. Breath, label, and a tiny choice. And she stayed. It shifted her whole day.
Wow. Thank you for that. It's exactly the kind of small, specific moment that makes the practice feel practical. So why does curiosity help when the critic feels so aggressive?
Curiosity interrupts the fight or flight reflex. When we notice instead of react, we create a tiny space. That space weakens the critic's command and opens room for choice. Research backs that up. Naming a thought, just saying, "That's the critic," shifts brain networks and reduces automatic reactivity. It doesn't erase the feeling, but it changes our relationship to it. I love that. Notice, don't absorb. Let's try a brief, curious witnessing practice now. 3 minutes you can do anywhere. If you need to stop, pause the episode. There's also a 60-second alternative at the end. Find a comfortable seat. Rest your hands. Soften your shoulders. If it feels safe, close your eyes. If not, soften your gaze. Take a slow breath in and let it go. Feel the ground beneath you, supporting your weight. Allow your body to arrive here with you. Now, invite your attention to any thought that feels critical, anxious, or heavy. Let it come into awareness without arguing. Just notice it as if it were weather passing through the sky. Name it quietly. That's the critic, or that's fear. Say it without debate. Then check your body. Where do you feel it? Tightness? A hold in the chest? Offer a gentle question to what you notice. What is this trying to protect me from? Or when did I first hear this voice? No need for an answer, just the question and the noticing. When you're ready, bring attention back to the room. Wiggle your fingers, open your eyes. You did that. Well done. That felt grounded. For many people, that simple labeling and curiosity reduces the charge, less fuel for the fire. A few portable tools for daily life. 1, a short phrase, curious, not captive. 2, a grounding microcheck, name 3 things you see, 2 things you can touch, 1 slow breath. 3, a tiny experiment. When the critic says don't try, do one small thing for 5 minutes and notice what happens. I'll add one I use. Pause and say, that's trying to keep me safe, and I'm okay to keep going. It softens judgment without pretending the worry isn't real. Integrate tiny witness checks into routines while you wash your hands, while you wait for coffee, or before you hit send on an email. 3 breaths of noticing can change the tone of the next step. A clinical note. Curious witnessing complements therapy and supports. If this practice brings up intense distress or if the critic is tied to trauma, please reach out to a mental health professional. Before we close, a 60-second alternative you can use on the fly. Take one breath. Label the thought. That's the critic. Soften your shoulders and pick one tiny, doable next step. Quick recap. Notice the voice, name it, check the body, and ask one gentle question. Try the phrases, curious, not captive. That's the critic. And I can still choose. If you try this week, watch for small shifts. Decision-making, the tilt of your shoulders, your willingness to try. Small changes add up. If you feel stuck, try a simple log. What the critic said, what you noticed in your body, and one small experiment you tried. Over time, patterns emerge, and awareness is empowering. If this conversation helped, visit our show page for the practice transcript, a printable 1-minute checklist, and links to resources from Nisha and Elise. There's a link in the episode notes. Thank you both for sharing your warmth and practical wisdom today.
Thank you, Pami. Take good care.
Thanks. Be gentle with yourselves out there. Come as you are. Leave nourished. Thank you for listening. If this episode moved you, consider sharing it with a friend who's in the middle of a change. Visit the Self-Care Cafe website to find the practice transcript, resource links, and notes on today's episode.